valedictory address will now be given by Nicholas J. Macchione. Nick is from Leominster, Massachusetts, completing his degree with majors in both music and history and with a minor in Italian studies. Active in jazz ensemble, concert band, music ministry, and various theater productions, Nick has served as an admissions ambassador and as a peer tutor in the Academic Support Center. He's participated in Moot Court, the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Model Senate, and intramural sports. He studied abroad in Rome in the fall of 2019. Nick received departmental awards in history and Italian at the 2022 Honors Convocation, and he is a member of Phi Alpha Theta National History Honors Society. I am pleased to present Nicholas Macchione.
Interim President Wiener, President Emeritus Cesareo, Your Excellency Bishop McManus, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, family and friends of the graduates. Welcome, and thank you for joining us in this celebratory event. And to my fellow members of the class of 2022, congratulations. In the picturesque alpine town of Ibach in 1884, Karl Elsener began crafting knives in a small workshop adjacent to his home. A few years later, the Helvetic military contracted Elsener to begin supplying their officers with collapsible knives, complete with screwdrivers, which were necessary to service their standard issue rifles, and can openers so that they could open their rations. In the aftermath of the Second World War, American troops stationed in Europe were struck by the utility of these knives. They became popular souvenirs. The only problem was the hard-to-pronounce German name that the knives had been given, Offiziermesser. As a workaround, the soldiers referred to the blades as Swiss Army knives, and a cultural icon and ubiquitous tool was born. On the outside of every Swiss Army knife is a white cross emblazoned on a red shield, the symbol of the Swiss nation. A similar white cross adorns Assumption's own seal on the podium in front of me and on the diplomas that we will all be receiving. The cross reminds us of our shared Catholic values, which underpin the mission of the university. The shield, too, recalls the words of Psalm 28, "The Lord is my strength and my shield," and the ways in which faith can inspire and guide us, even when times are difficult. These symbols remind us that despite our individual aspirations and unique experiences, we have an obligation to use our education for the benefit of ourselves and for others, and in doing so strive to fulfill our mission of forming Christ within all of us. It is therefore imperative to remember the cross and the shield and the grace and responsibility that they signify as we depart the gates of 500 Salisbury Street and enter the next phases of our lives. While many instruments are designed to fulfill a single purpose, the value of a Swiss Army knife comes in its versatility for any situation. If you could only have one tool to serve you for the rest of your life, wouldn't you want it to be applicable to whatever you might encounter? This same sentiment rings true in education. As the great Mahatma Gandhi said, education is the basic tool for the development of consciousness and the reconstitution of society. An Assumption liberal arts education is similarly suited to a wide variety of careers and vocations. Our mission statement describes a comprehensive education, one that is concerned not only with the formation of the mind, but also shaping the very souls of the students. It is this vision which not only allows but encourages students to become well-rounded people through the pursuit of excellence and virtue. The intellectual curiosity which Assumption aims to awake in its students drives every one of us to seek out answers, both to those questions which can be easily understood, as well as those which transcend simple comprehension. Thoughtful reflection on the reasons for education is of equal importance to the education itself, making it vital to ground the questions of who, what, where, and when, with the consideration of how and why. As undergraduates, we've engaged with these perennial questions of humanity in our study of the greatest books of the Western canon, by partaking in friendly political discourse with friends and Charlies, through our silent ponderings in the pews of the Chapel of the Holy Spirit. The sense of self-discovery and the formation of the individual are fundamental to success, in both academic study and the wider world, as we strive to achieve harmony between faith and reason, morality and prudence, and compassion and contemplation in all of our lives. Each difficult class lecture, thought-provoking conversation in a professor's office, review session before an exam, or appointment with a peer tutor has served as a whetstone, sharpening our minds. To sharpen a blade, one must exert a certain level of pressure on it. We've made it through the seemingly endless gauntlet of papers, exams, presentations, lab reports, readings, due dates. Although we've all benefited from the rigorous academic whetstones of assumption, the journey must continue. It is not enough to have obtained the knowledge from our time here. Now we must implement this education to help better ourselves in the world around us, ensuring that our Swiss Army knives are not forgotten at the bottom of our pockets. When I began college, I wondered how I could choose what kind of person to be. With so many opportunities for new classes, clubs, friends, and experiences. For the next 4 years, I struggled with the question, until a few weeks ago, as I exited the admissions house and introduced myself to a small group of prospective students and their families. As I stood there relaying the things I had done as an Assumption student, I realized that my time here has been a testament to my desire to become a Renaissance man, pursuing excellence in all that I do. Now, as the prospects of future employment, graduate studies, international travel, and the responsibilities of adult life loom, I am grateful that I am so well equipped with my own synthesis of all of these different experiences. In times when the uncertainty of the future casts a shadow over the present, I would like to remind the class of 2022 the words of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Our education from Assumption, our Swiss Army knives, which have served us throughout our time here, are the very weapons that we will wield as we confront our futures. We must realize that the wealth of options available to us and the possible paths that lay ahead should not be overwhelming or stressful, but rather encouraging, as evidence of our great accomplishments and the potential to reach even greater heights. Although the trials we face will not abate, we must be confident that we are capable of overcoming anything, and that our blades will only be sharpened by the challenges that life presents. Class of 2022, we now all possess our own Swiss Army knife, equipped with countless tools and experiences that all fold up, tucked away into our minds and hearts until the time comes to open them up. We will use many of these tools in our daily lives. The connections with our peers and professors and the knowledge from our majors that will serve us as we pursue further education or enter employment in our chosen fields. Some tools will hardly ever be opened. We may forget we even have them inside of our knives. Now, while we may not be called upon to recite the plot of Lysistrata or Beowulf, read figured-based notation, conjugate irregular verbs, or complete synthetic division problems, the knowledge and experiences derived from our coursework and our overall experiences will serve us well in our future endeavors. In his science fiction novel, Time Enough for Love, author Robert Heinlein wrote, "A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, and die gallantly." Some of these things may still elude the class of 2022. Nevertheless, our time in college has taught us how to do laundry, take notes, play Battleship, budget our meal swipes, clean our rooms, give and receive help, tie a necktie, conduct research, get up early, stay out late, serve communities, host parties, make spreadsheets, win championships, write and deliver speeches, welcome ducks, and become thoughtful people. Lest we get caught up in a world of specialization, which requires elaborate job titles, obtuse degrees, and the labeling of so-called experts, let us take some time to unfold our Swiss Army knives, recall the things that have brought us to where we are today, and trust that they will continue to take us wherever it is that we need to go. Let the magnifying glass inspire us to take a closer look at the world. Let the LED flashlight light the way for others. And let the corkscrew be employed to help us celebrate our many accomplishments. Congratulations, class of 2022. It's been a privilege and an honor to address you today. I look forward to seeing the ways that you all use your Swiss Army knives to lead meaningful lives. Thank you very much.
President Cesareo, I do hereby certify that the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science of Assumption University have completed the program of studies of this institution and have successfully passed their final examinations. The candidates are therefore eligible for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science and are authorized to receive their diplomas.
By the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the Board of Trustees of Assumption University, and on the recommendation of the faculty, I do hereby confer these degrees, along with all the rights, honors, and privileges thereunto appertaining.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science will now be presented as follows. The D'Amour College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will be presented by Eloise Knowlton, PhD, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Michelle A. Gravelin, DMA, Interim Dean of the D'Amour College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Graduates may be seated until their row is called. The following have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and the degree of Bachelor of Science, D'Amour College, Liberal Arts and Sciences. Nicholas James Macchione, summa cum laude.